International Women's Day was yesterday, but I look at it as being all weekend, all week, all month, however you want to do it. But, as I talked to y'all before about my mom, I keep a picture of her. This is called a talisman. When I need strength from my mother, a woman, my dad too, but this is about the women in my life. My mother, my sister, my grandmother, my aunts, my cousins. The women in my life always gave me strength. They always helped me out. They always pushed me in the right direction. And so this one, the theme this year is accelerate action for equality, for feminists and all of that. When I was in therapy, the second week, I believe, I can't remember, but she said, Mr. Walker, next week, we're going to talk about your mother. And I was like, no, 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 I don't want to do that. And this was I was 47 years old, 36 years after my parents had got divorced. I was still angry with my mother. So, and with men out there, if you're still angry with your mother for whatever reason, the only thing that helped me unlock that, it wasn't my ex-girlfriend, it wasn't my ex-wife. All my exes used to always say, Leon, you never talk about your mother. You don't introduce me to your mother. I never introduced anybody to my mother till it was later on in the relationship where I can trust they wouldn't make fun of me and my mother because people call my mother crazy. My dad used to call my mother crazy. My friends' mothers used to call my mother crazy. They used to talk about my mother. And then when I got diagnosed with my NPD and mood disorder, I thought I was crazy. But anyway, I heard stories about my mother and my grandmother used to fight all the time. And this was maybe 5-6 years ago. My sister just told me about these stories. But my mother is where I get a lot of my strength from. But I concentrated on all the negative things about my mother. And I had a friend that called me the other day, Kevin Brilski. He said, yo, man, I noticed something because he and I are very close. When you get mad, when you were mad with women years ago, you would concentrate on the 10% of that, the things that she did, the bad things, but the 90% of the things that she did right, you didn't pay attention to it. And I was like, and this was a recent conversation. I was like, man, it hit me hard. He was right. So I had to switch up my thinking because I was very chauvinistic. I was very cocky. I was very self-centered. I was very arrogant. And I didn't believe in chivalry. There was one lady I was dating. We were going to a nice restaurant here in Chicago. And when we got out, I ran across the street and she stood there like, Leon, you gonna wait on me? And so I just want to say happy International Women's Month Day, which was yesterday, this weekend, this week, all month. Celebrate to the best of your ability. And for the men out there, if you're still having problems and issues understanding women, it's okay to go through therapy. I had a problem understanding my mother. My mother was the reason why I became a Boy Scout. My mother was the reason why I played baseball. My mother was the reason why I played football. My dad was there, but he was working a lot. But my mother's the reason why I did a lot of things. She was the reason why she signed off my paperwork to join the Navy. She's the reason why I understand personality disorder. She's the reason why I have a personality disorder, and I found that out. My dad has his parts of me too, but, I just want to say happy International Women's Month Day. And, because I went through therapy is the reason why I was able to understand women more. And the day she said, next week we're going to talk about your mom, I would shake my head. But when I went in there, it freed me to talk about my mother, to understand my mother, to understand that the drugs she was doing wasn't her. I had to think back. I had to reflect back on what my mother did for me, how she made me stronger, how she had me engaged in sports and karate and basketball and football, how we had a basketball court in our backyard because of my mother, And so my mother did everything for me. She did a lot for me. My dad did things too, but my mother did a lot. And she suffered from her mother. She suffered from her brother being killed. She suffered from being beat up. She suffered from being taken advantage of by a baseball player, Major League Baseball player. So I started talking about all of this stuff with my mom in therapy. And I was able to release my anger toward my mother. So if you're upset with your mother, you're going to be upset with your girlfriend, your wife, you're going to be upset with your sister, your cousin, you're going to be upset with women, period. Go get therapy, enroll in therapy. And all of my therapists were middle-aged white women that allowed me to release all the anger that I had towards women. No longer have that anger anymore. But, I still have to work on things. But happy International Women's Day. Celebrated, accelerating the respect we have for you all, the strength that we believe in you all to have, the knowledge that you all have. We accelerate all of that, to be safe and to be secure around us and to want to be more understood and for us not hurt you as much. I hurt a lot of women, and I apologize about that. But therapy, my man out there, if you all are afraid of therapy, which a lot of men are, especially black men, we don't go, it's taboo. Go to therapy because we're taught to suck it up. We're taught to not cry. We're taught to not love those women. Those rap songs. We don't love those, We're taught those things. We're taught to be chauvinistic. We're taught to be strong and to suppress your emotional feelings. It's not good. It's not healthy. You have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your week. Thank you.